everyone, thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Today we are going to be making or learning how to make a finger knitted crochet snake for this Tween Tuesday. So I'm just going to show you how to finger knit, like the basics of finger knitting, and then I will show you how to make this snaky boy. What you're going to need is, where is the other one? Well, you're going to need some glue to attach some eyes. You can either cut these eyes out from paper, or you can, if you have googly eyes, if you have buttons that you want to use, just any kind of glue that's wet, so like an Elmer's glue, or if you have some of this tacky glue like I do, you're more than welcome to use that. Just some adhesive of some sort. And then a pair of scissors. We're going to be cutting yarn. And then for this, I'm going to be using, one second, let me just, for this, I'm going to be using 2 different colored yarns. I'm going to be using this brown and then this green to make our snake. So, in order to get started, oh, and of course you're going to need your fingers. To get started, you're going to want to unravel some of your thread. I will do that right now. And then you're going to want to hold them together like this. So make sure you get quite a bit, just so you're not like constantly pulling at the yarn. And then you're just going to want to hold the pieces of thread or the pieces of string together like this. You want this to be like a thicker string, like not your typical sewing string or anything like that. You just want this to be kind of more like crochet thread works. If you have wool yarn, it works too, as long as it's yarn that is thick like this. So you're gonna want to take, don't cut anything off of the spool or the bundle of yarn. Just keep it attached. You'll cut it at the very end. This just kind of helps at, using as much as you need. So, okay, so you're going to take like a fairly long part of the end. You're going to grab it, and we're going to mainly be focusing on the 2 middle fingers of your hand. So these 2, your index and your pinky, will come in handy later, but for now we will be focusing on the middle 2 fingers of your hand to weave or to finger knit. We are going to do a 2 knotted finger knit, and that will make sense in a moment. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to hold this thread with your thumb like this and put it off to the side, and then you're going to want to grab the thread on the other side, so you have this leeway. You can actually kind of make it a little shorter. You have this leeway on the back of your thumb, and then you have this on the other side, and then you're just going to want to weave it through the middle 2. So like one goes behind and one goes in front. And then you're going to want to do it at the back again. So you're just going to want to turn it around. One in the back and one in the front, so that you have a loop. So in the way this works is that you're going to need to have 2 loops on here. So you're going to have to go one more time around like that. So then you should be left with 2 loops on each of your fingers. Keep this fairly tight. I mean, obviously do not go so tight that you cut off circulation to your fingers, but you don't want it to be too loose where the weaving doesn't show through because the threads are so loose. You can keep it tighter. You can adjust the tightness as you go. So if you want to go a little loose at the beginning and then tighten it up at the end, I'll show you how to do that in a second. But right now you should be here with the 2 weaving. So let me just show you again. So you're going to want to hold it with your thumb against your hand, bring it down, then over, and then turn it around, over and under, and over again until you have 2 loops on each finger. So then you're going to take the one that's at the bottom. Let me move these a little up more. You're going to take the one at the bottom and you're going to pull it over. You see what I'm doing? I'm pulling it over my finger over this top loop. One second, let me fix this. My thread is a little too loose. All right, so you want to do that. All right, and if you want to tighten it up, you can pull on the string you were initially holding, And then you're gonna wanna do the same thing to the other side. Just pull it over your finger. And again, you can use this string to help tighten it. If your string starts to go up your fingers, that's no problem, just move it down. But you're gonna wanna repeat that same stitch again, or the same weave again, so that you can have 2 more loops at the top, and then you're going to repeat the process. And like I said, you can use this to tighten it up if it is a little loose. Just adjust it. Oh, I lost this one. 1 second. It's kind of like just seeing how it works for you. I have fairly short fingers, so like I have to work just a tad bit harder to get everything together because I don't have much space to work with as someone with longer fingers. It's just the same pattern. So that's what you're gonna want to do. You're just gonna want to make these loops. There you go. You're gonna want to make these loops, and then if you want to tighten it at the end, you can just grab the initial string that you were holding, your thumb was holding, to make it tighter so it's not that loose of a weave. Like I said, even when I'm like crocheting or anything, I tend to have a habit of keeping my thread fairly loose. It's just something I've always struggled with, so just make it work for you. So I found that pulling on this after every stitch helps tighten it. So once you do that, you just pull it and it gets a little tighter, and then you do the same thing on the other side. You just pull it, and then don't forget to pull this every once in a while, and then your stitch starts looking like that. So you just keep doing that, and that will make the body of your snake. So for instance here, it will make the long tail part, and then I will teach you how to make a longer weave for the head, or a longer head, like not a weave, but like I'll teach you a different knitting pattern to make it more wider for the head of the snake. So you can just keep doing this until you have your desired length for your snake. Like I said, I have fairly short fingers, so I have to kind of adjust what I can work with because I don't have that much space to begin with. But yeah, you just keep doing this motion until you get the desired length you want. Like I said, make sure it's like fairly tight because you don't want it to have big gaps, otherwise it starts not to look like the body of a snake. But yeah, you just want to weave them in until you get the desired length you want. If your yarn gets too close to your fingertips, just either move them down or just be mindful that you don't want to pull both of the strings at the same time. All right, I'm gonna leave that length like that. That's a pretty good length. So let me pull my... Now for this step, we're going to make the actual head part of the snake. Let me get some more thread out. So like you should be left with this, with the body of your snake, as long as you want it to be. And here's where we're going to incorporate our other fingers, our pinky and our index, like I mentioned earlier. And this is, we're gonna go from a 2-stitch, which is what this is, because there's 2 holes. And then we're gonna go to 4 stitches where there's gonna be stuff wrapped around all 4 of our fingers. So for this one, let me put my... Okay, for this one, you're going to want to wrap it around there on the first two like that. But, oh, just kidding. I lied. I'm just kidding. Anyways, so you're going to want to wrap it around your pinky. And then just go down the same way we have been going. That's not correct. Why am I not? I literally just did this. 1 second, Christian. Super sorry for the technical difficulties. I literally just did this like a second ago. Why? Oh, that's why. Okay, just kidding. Okay, I'm gonna jump back in to the video right now. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring it forward. And you're gonna wrap it around your first finger and then just go down the line like you have. Like that. But you're gonna want to go up. And this is how it should look like. So you should only have one notch or one little loop on your index and your pinky. And then your middle fingers, like these fingers should have the loop on the center. So you're just going to want to finish these out. Like that. Like I said, make sure that it's fairly tight. And then from here, this is where now you are going to incorporate all 4 of your fingers. So you are going to wrap around your pinky like this and then go over this finger. Ooh, 1 second. You're going to go over your pinky like this, then wrap around this finger, and then go to this finger, and then your index. And you should now have 2 loops on every single finger. And then you're just going to want to go down the line like you normally would, like what you did with the 2 finger notches. So, ooh, 1 second. So yeah, just gonna want to do that. And like I said, you're gonna have to try to find a balance of how tight to keep the ooh, this is not going through. A balance of how tight to keep the strings. Like I said, you do not want them so tight that they cut off circulation of your fingers, but they need to be tight enough where you don't interrupt the weave. So yeah. So now that you're there, you just keep doing that for at least 4 times. Or at least until the desired length of the head of your snake you would like. I'm gonna go 3 times. So that was my first stitch. This is my second. Oh, it seems that it's, there we go. There we go. And then this is going to be my last one. You may decide that you want a longer, head on your snake. That's totally fine. But usually it's like 3 or 4 stitches is enough to make the head of your snake. I seem to have, there we go. Oh, this one's fairly tight. 1 second, let me just struggle a minute. There you go. Okay. So that's how long I want the head of my snake. So now in order to incorporate back to 2, you're going to want to flip your string over into your middle. So the index loop goes on this finger and then the pinky loop will go on this finger, and then now you're back to 2 stitches. So then you will just go back, do the same thing, grab the bottom loops and go over, and grab the bottom loops and go over and pull, and then you should have the head of your snake. And then you still have the 2, so what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 loop and you're just going to put it in the other one, like that. And then you're just going to want to tie it off. So then you have 1 loop and then the leftover string, and then you're just going to want to tie it off like that. Maybe double knot it if you prefer. and then you're gonna cut it. And then you have, oh, you're also gonna want to cut the end. If you want to cut it all the way to the tail, go ahead, but I like to leave a little like that. So then this is the body, this is the head of your snake, and this is the body of it. So you can add a tongue if you want. I do not have red string to do a tongue, so you're just gonna have to imagine this is a red string. You're just going to go underneath the snake and find a loop that you can put this through, and then just tie it off like this. That's your tongue. And then for the eyes, I cut out an eye, but I seem to have lost the other one, so let me just quickly cut out a second one. So yeah, those are the eyes. And then I'm just going to use my glue. I'm going to press them in like that. And then you could probably do this beforehand, but I once again did not prepare in time, so I will just draw the pupils. Yeah, there you go. Then you have your snake. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I had a bunch of fun doing this, and I hope you have fun creating your own snakes of different colors and lengths and stuff. So yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you stay healthy. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.